Hello and welcome back to another Age of Empires Friends game from the second annual Friends tournament. This is from round two from myself and uh, Golden the Golden Rabbit, and we'll go ahead and get started. The match civilization matchup is going to be the Chinese for the Golden Rabbit, and I am a pretty constant Minds player, so I wanted to try to do things different today in order to um, maybe keep everybody on their toes to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more challenging. I went mirror, did a mirror match, so I'm also the Chinese, and yeah, I mean I have lived it. I have lived this match, but I'll go ahead and cast it anyway. I'll focus a little bit more on the Golden Rabbit side because I think I've already seen my side. We'll go ahead and speed this up a little bit and just take a look at some of the Fog of War. Really wide open space for rabbits. This is like really nice. And if you're like thinking about, or if you saw some of the other games I casted or we played this weekend, some of those other games I just feel like didn't have very good TC placements in terms of I believe we were doing Arabia, and or maybe just random ashes, and Arabia wasn't the consideration, but I'm pretty sure this is Arabia as well. Ooh, a little bit of pressure there. Interesting to see how Rabbits does and gets his map control, and because spreading out down here, looking to see what he has, looking for his resources. Very forward gold here, and with the Chinese, and going for castle and going for the special unit Chuganos. You really need the gold production. Has a very safe lumber camp on the back. Has a very good berry production in the back, and I think I don't think he goes for. I don't think he goes for any horse production, but we'll have to wait and find out. So all that to say, yeah, we'll go see my side at least for the time being. I do put a little pressure on roll pull, or excuse me, on Golden Rabbits here, just to be a little pain in the butt. We'll switch over to the Murdercai feed here. See, like my, that's what I was saying, is like mine is like a little bit more like, stagnant. So like I kind of just scattered around my place and then like just went forward just to try to find his base, just to get an idea of where he was at. I was very happy with this gold in the back here. I did have these berries up front, so I wasn't crazy about it. I did recognize the hill was going to be here, but I did my best to protect it. I had 2 lumber camps here. Yeah, I need more tea. Okay, we'll turn off Fog of War for a second, and we'll kind of let this play out a little bit more. So very interesting here. A lot of villagers coming out. I'm wondering. I would like to see what his build order he was working off of, because he's just really cranking out a lot of villagers. Maybe trying to go for a fast castle, but I don't quite remember. It would make sense if he was going for a fast castle, if he wanted to go for the Chukanos. I, on the other hand, was not going for a fast castle, and was just going to try to do maybe a regular standard archer build. And so you can see I do start making some militia here. The scouting does come out. And 13 minutes in, 12 minutes in, 13 minutes in, completely walled. And I can say the same for myself, completely walled. Kind of, 2020 hindsight, could have probably just zipped that off right there. But I don't believe that becomes a problem. This stays, I think, pretty solid, pretty standard. And I do bring down my cavalry just to kind of like keep him on his toes. I do attack here a little bit, and we have a little battle here of scouts, and I run around, he runs around, we run around together. I think at the end of it he does get my scout, but no, I don't get it apparently. Okay, well, all that to say, scoreboard is actually not too far apart here. Everybody walled up. Villager population. Wrong button. 34 piece. One death, obviously, because of the scout that died. But these guys are going to hand over here, and I kind of forget about them, so don't expect them to be super involved. But I'm thinking, hey, Rabbits is also Chinese. I'm Chinese. He might be thinking to go Chukanus or go for archers. So I do, in fact, bring forward a few of these guys just to kind of get some things started here. Just to kind of get a little pressure on. And I'm thinking, well, if he does decide he wants to break out a scout or two, or he wants to bring in a scout in and mess with that, I'm going to be ready. So I do have my spearmen ready as well. And that's an 18-minute castle time, so I think Rabbits was absolutely going for his fast castle time. Going for the stone, obviously, that's kind of a dead giveaway. There's 6 on gold. All that is it. So he does have some archers out here. I do bring in some pressure from the side of his base to force him to make a few extra buildings. He probably didn't want to build at this very point in juncture. And let us click off. The villager population 39 to 36. Of course, he was idle going up to castle, and I am now going to castle as well. So he'll make that difference up pretty quickly, and just trying to keep me out, keep this place a little bit fortified. He needs the market anyway, so it was the right choice to do. Covers plenty of ground. But yeah, just putting a little pressure on, trying to make sure that he doesn't get too comfortable at home. Breaks the wall, and at this point, I think we have a problem. This point, I do not see this. I do not see this happening. Oh, that was kind of cool. If I can see them again. He is looking right here, and he scouted this perfectly. He scouted it perfectly. He puts himself on a giant hill in front of my base. He's going to set up, and I don't see this. I am completely oblivious to this right here. He does have this in here, and I think he gets like 1 or 2 kills with it. So that kind of annoying, because my attention is completely elsewhere. I do see these guys, and I think he may have even done that to lure my guys away from this little area. See, and my archers are right there. They don't see this. That's why you've got to get Town Watch. I did not have Town Watch, and I think if I would have seen that, I would have been able to contest that. That's the end of the sentence. I would have been able to contest it. Coming in with my men-at-arms, hitting the back of his base here. Doesn't really matter. He got a castle down in the middle of this absolutely beautiful hillside. So there's that. 40 villagers to 39 villagers. Going crossbowmen. And we'll see what happens here. It's 23 to 2600 in terms of score. A little bit happening in the base here. That scout does go down. Not a big deal. I'm not sure what these guys are doing. I don't think they were supposed to do that. Yep, no idea what was going on there. Okay, so we're just going to go, and then he does start producing the Chukanus here, I believe. Yep. Starts producing the Chukanus. Oh, yeah, that feels good. I need to get up after this game. But coming in again with the pressure from the side. Have the crossbows. And let me just see what he's looking at. He just sees this group of people right here coming in for his town. He sees these guys in here, which are doing absolutely nothing, and we all forget about them because they are in retirement, apparently. He has a hole in the center of his base. The Chukanos are continually just going to start cranking out. He sees that I'm walled. He sees that, hey, there's not really any vulnerabilities back here. So he scouted my base very, very well. Sees that I don't have any buildings for cavalry, stables, and so he's gonna bring back Shukanus because he's like, well, these guys are about to come in, and we'll just kind of let this engagement play out. I have no idea why these guys are over here, and those guys are probably gonna die really quickly. Yep, yeah, they do. And I do have everything peppered in here. I do have some upgrades. I do have the spears in here, and I do have, you know, to absorb some hits. Man-at-Arms in there as well, which I didn't realize was in there. But you also have the Skirmisher in there, which can also help out a lot. And at this point, he's going to try to micro away. And I'm just going to say, hey, I'll go after your villagers if you don't want to take this fight with me. So he brings in his Shukanus here. He probably should have not taken that fight. But once again, he's trying to protect his gold. This gold was not a safe gold to begin with. And he's just going to pull those guys completely off gold. But I think I did fairly well in that exchange. Lost a few guys here, but overall got him off of his gold. And he's just going to go right over here to this gold. He's like, well, if you're going to pick on that one, I've got another gold mine that I can show love to. So there's that. 52 to 56 villager, 54 to 56 villager count. So the villager count seems to be there. Do go to the back of this here. I think these gentlemen do go down, but bringing him off his lumber camp obviously has a very solid lumber camp up front, has a very solid television, very solid TC here, and he is going to expand out. Cannot keep this, does not want to keep this. There's nothing really back here except for this little patch of wood, and at this point he's going to say to himself, well, I can just go build another lumber camp over here. I'm just going to adjust a little bit. I'm just going to rotate a little bit. And if he doesn't see what I'm doing, which I don't, I'm going to have no idea. This is all uncontested. This is all a map unexplored. I don't see it. So the values of really just knowing your terrain, really knowing, hey, there's a gold out here, knowing there's a relic out here, knowing there's a bear out here as well, you know? It's beside the point. But this will continue to produce Shukanus. And what you want to do with those Shukanus is just, you get a buttload of them. That's what you gotta do. Some military hanging out here. I'm not really sure why I'm not using it. I think I forget it's there. Or I'm concerned maybe about a little push in there. And the siege workshop will come in, get himself a little bit of siege. And 67 to 68 villager count, 20 deaths to 15 deaths, and I know that's like a pretty good mixture of everything. He maybe got 3 or 4 of my villagers with his scout, which I think he did a really good job with, just kind of being a pest and doing that. And yep, I just tell him, hey, not welcome here in the front. And we'll probably see, I think I did see that siege workshop coming in, and I said to myself, oh, I need to get one myself. And I also saw the castle at some point and said, hey, I really need to do something about that. And recognizing that I am going to need something to deal with these Shukanus. These guys are still in retirement. And yeah, for some reason this is where all of my guys are going. I do bring up the stables, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, if he's going Shukanus, and he's, you know, I don't think I saw any spearmen, maybe one spearman that I maybe killed earlier. He might not be expecting a little bit of the horse action. So I do start making some horses here. Excuse me for a second. Oh yeah, that was awesome. And I do bring these archers in here to say, hey, I need to do something with them instead of just letting them sit there. So I do come into his base. It's still unguarded. But once again, he doesn't really have a lot to worry about. He's branched off over here. But here's the reality. Here's the benefit of scouting. If I was scouting in this area, I would have realized that this is all exposed in here. He does have this a little bit more secure in here with his town center. But honestly, that would have been excellent. I do try to go to the back of his base, try to see if there's anything back here. But there's nothing back here. He does not force himself to use this real estate in here, he has forced himself to branch forward, which is one of the best things you can do. It's the best thing for map control. And at this point, I mean, 86 villagers to 74 villagers, not producing villagers right now. And I think this is where the game starts to split apart here. I mean, population-wise, he's only got like 8 more, but he's definitely got the villagers, man. He's definitely got the manpower. And he's going after the relics. Everything a player needs to remember and understand is, hey, this gold is going to be super valuable later on. But he does a very good job taking control of the middle of the map. He's got his hill right here. He's putting houses out in the front, which is what you're going to do with the villager that's just hanging out. And he said, hey, I'm just going to have you guys build a mining camp. But once again, so much exposed land out here that if I had scouted, I would have known about. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, I also need to expand a little bit and get a little bit more map control. So I do expand out here a little bit more. And unfortunately, I think it's just too dang late. It is just too late. I think I took a fight there. The Chukanus were in there, and I saw my opportunity, so I went for it. But at this point, he has all the time in the world. Building his Chukanus. Does he have a... Oh no, he brought... I think he brought this back to his base to clean out the rest of my army. So we'll see what happens right here. I actually don't remember this engagement all that much. If there is an engagement, yeah, he's going to maybe come in. He's going to try to hit my Mangonel and then try to hit these skirmishers. He's going to get that shot. Beautiful shot. Not paying attention. And he maybe wants to bring these Chukanus in, sees that army and says, that is not worth it to me right now. Maybe get a shot with my Mangonel first and then I'll go into it. Which I think is essentially what he does, but he does not see these horses coming in. I did the wrong fog of war. Does not see these horses coming in. They'll take care of that in a jiffy. And essentially just kind of keeping this, but once again, he is expanding. He is keeping in mind the rest of the map. He's gaining map control, and he's saying to himself, hey, the base at home might not be super safe right now, but hey, what do? I just move the pressure over to the side, which is beautiful. At this point, I'm realizing I really need to do something, because if I don't get any more map control, this is going to be bad. If I cannot get a hold or contain of this situation, this is not going to be very good. I have no idea what these guys are doing here. But I saw this hill and I said to myself, hey, if I can gain some area right in here, that might be able to be contested. I might be able to have a chance of giving a little bit more of a challenge, a little bit more of a fight. And I don't think these last particularly long. I just send them right in here. They do get killed. And that's the power of the Chukanus, man. You just mass those guys up. You do have a monk just in case. And this castle, and he is also going to build a castle here. See, he's got all this. I don't see any of this. I see none of it, and he's already got his castle building right here as well. I'll let you all look at the rest of this this challenge here. He does get his castle up first, and I somehow luckily get mine up, and I'm thinking to myself, I desperately need to take out this castle right here. Not even realizing how close this one was until I had built mine. The Shukanu push is coming in. I do have the skirmishers here on the top of the hill. Once again, not really giving too much of land earlier because they, I had the numbers and I had the hill advantage, and he says I've got the numbers now and completely takes this out. And at this point, I was under the impression I was trying to continue to build, tried to continue to build skirmishers, but just not maybe having the resources for it, really struggling for wood. And I think I maybe clicked too many upgrades there at one time, not being able to use the extra money in the bank that I actually really do have. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, hey, we're getting pushed in the front. If I can get a castle right here or right here, I can kind of hold back that push until like a little bit later on. If I can get a treb out, that will really, really help. Obviously, trebbing right in here, and that range, is just disgusting. And seeing that, and no idea why my trebuchet is attacking the stable instead of this, but I think it was because I didn't see this castle until later. And I'm just thinking about I can rip out some of those. Yeah, but right in here is the GG. I was trying to put a castle here. He does an excellent job, and I could have probably cleaned this up right here, but at the same time, I'm seeing this go down, and I'm saying to myself, there's no way I can. I mean, I might have been able to contest it a little bit more, push the game a little bit more, but at that point, I don't have any map control, and I don't have any units either. And the only thing I would have had going for me is a castle. I could have continued to make skirmishers, but at that point, I think it's a losing battle. I mean, I obviously can't see his villager count, but 133 to 83, and I think that's the difference maker right there. So we'll go ahead and look at the statistics real quick. 98 killed, 50 lost. He did a very good job of just maintaining the center of the map control, and anytime he felt the pressure, he just pushed to the other side. He just expanded to the other side. He didn't collapse in, he expanded out, and I think that absolutely really made all the difference for him. So there you go, and I might do one more today, but we'll see. But until then, until the next one, we'll see you later. Bye.